More people are listening to this sort of thing than ever. The latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. Spoken word audio continues to grow, with younger audiences aged 13 to 24 listening to more than twice as much spoken word in the last 8 years. That's according to the Spoken Word Audio Report 2022 from NPR and Edison Research. Podcasts' share of time with spoken word audio has increased by 163% over the last 8 years. The report is published in full on National Public Media's website and linked from our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. Apple has published a set of insights about paid subscriptions on Apple Podcasts. 1/3 of all new subscription sign-ups are for annual plans, the company says. And if you're making a serialized show, subscribers are 20% more likely to finish it. Adobe's Project Shasta, which we first spotted in December 2021, appears to now be called Adobe Express Podcast. It's a podcast editor that lets you edit words, not waveforms, and is in early preview. Ashley Carman has analysed Spotify's podcaster contracts. The company offers a 50% revenue share, which is below some similar creator splits. The Normal Gossip podcast is responsible for 2,500 paid subscriptions to Defector Media's website, the company says. We'll link to more information on that, and also more information on ad network Gumball, which is now paying podcasters faster. Podcasters now get paid within days rather than, as is usual, having to wait 90 days or more. Confusingly, it's called Lightning Pay, and it features a lightning bolt, but it's nothing to do with the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Jameel Hill is to expand her podcasts on Spotify with the launch of the Unbothered Network and 2 new shows. ByteDance, who own TikTok, and Resso is hiring for a podcast business development role in Los Angeles. And Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy is no longer doing his podcast, The Dave Portnoy Show. He says his show was terrible. "I'm not going to do content that I know stinks," he added in an interview. In podcast news, Podland News this week has an interview with Dylan Pugh from the Sports Podcast Network, an ex-Spotify executive. He answered this question from Sam Sethi.
Do you think exclusives work? I mean, not just for Spotify, but for anyone, really?
No is the answer, if I'm honest. I don't think exclusives are good for the podcast space in the long term. I think it should remain an open ecosystem. I understand what Spotify are doing because they're trying to attract new audiences to the platform, and I get that. And my hunch is that the exclusive side is probably a short-term play for them. I don't think it's in their interest for things to be exclusive on the platform.
You can hear that interview in full in Podland News this week. Find it this week by searching for Podland News. It's episode 99 of that podcast, and we both make suggestions throughout the show that episode 100 might sound a little different. Whatever can we mean? How many podcasts do you listen to which are 100% whispered? Sleep Whispers has published more than 450 episodes and now has more than 2,000 ratings on Apple Podcasts and 5 million total downloads. And has Bone Valley solved a murder? The Orlando Sentinel reports a development in the case and a new suspect who's currently in prison for an unrelated crime. Now, since 1996, the Webby Awards, our sponsor, has been recognised as the preeminent international honour for Internet excellence. Last year's Webby Award received over 14,000 entries from around the world. By participating in the Webbies, you place your work on the same stage as boundary-pushing talent, like past Webby winners Crooked Media, Vox, The Washington Post, The Daily, Stitcher, California Love, and Lemonada Media, to name a few, and me twice, by the way, not that I like to crow about it. For the first time, the Webby Awards will recognise the company with the most wins, nominations and honoured entries across categories as Podcast Company of the Year, plus new podcast honours recognising best partnerships or collaboration, experimental and innovation, and best video series. You can learn more and enter the 27th Annual Webby Awards today, and if you enter today, you'll take advantage of early entry pricing, which ends at midnight tonight. You'll find more information in our show notes and in our newsletter at podnews.net. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.